views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Everyone, welcome to Angel Healing House Radio. My name is Candy Hough. Through my business, Angel Healing House, which can be found at angelhealinghouse.com. I'm a writer and an author, an international radio host, a Reiki master teacher, and an angel practitioner. My inspirational books entitled Angels of Faith and One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and my autobiography, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, are based on my recollections of our life in spirit, and they help us to remember our divine, eternal natures. Through Angel Healing House, I help people to let go of sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, and regret that has kept them locked in the prison of the past, and I help them to let go of worry, stress, and control, which has kept them focused on an imagined future. And once they are no longer living in the past or the future, they can start to live in the present moment, which is the only place that they can experience synchronicities, miracles, and magic. As an angel practitioner, I help people to see their lives from a higher perspective with the help of an extraordinary group of angels who call themselves the Posse of Angels. Just like my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, I'm very excited to take some of your calls for that free angel advice. You can call into the show on 1-800-930-2819. But before we get to those callers, welcome everyone to Angel Healing House Radio. I'd like to start off the show today with the reminder that as of April 9th, we're currently experiencing another Mercury retrograde, which will end on May the 3rd. And the Posse of Angels, here they come, they're hearing many of you saying, "Not another Mercury retrograde, didn't we just have one?" And that response is totally justified with the increased possibility of communication breakdowns like emails getting lost in cyberspace, delays of our projects, and, quite frankly, computers and cell phones not cooperating can be pretty darn frustrating. And while there are some who are not particularly enamored when the planet of communication goes backwards, the Posse of Angels and I really do prefer to look at Mercury retrograde as a time of embracing change in our lives. Now, in these times when the planet of communication goes backwards, life must slow down for us to review our lives, to consider what is coming in and opening up for us, in particular, a new cycle beginning. Now, the Posse of Angels can hear that collective silence out there, as many of you have never thought of Mercury retrograde in such a positive, optimistic way. That's right, every time, and they are really emphasizing every single time there's a Mercury retrograde, it is heralding a sign of the new on the horizon. And it's giving us the time and the opportunity to make sure everything is ready for that new arrival. And listeners, whether that new arrival shows itself as a career move, as in a new job, an opportunity to move locations or travel, or perhaps to experience just the right connection, magically manifesting that will help our dreams and projects take off. Mercury retrograde is presenting itself and getting us ready for the possibility of that happening. Now, I do use the word possibility of the new manifesting because A, our vibrational frequency must be of the same matching energy as that of the universe. Okay, you can't have disparate energies. And B, um, we have to be open to receive. But the Posse of Angels wishes to assure us that by surrendering our expectations and opening ourselves to receive, the universe can applaud our courage and reward us with the new coming in. Now, do remember that Mercury retrograde brings in a time for us to become introspective and to be still. For we do need the quiet to adjust to all the changes that we have been through, no matter if they were perceived as good or bad, and also for us to adjust to what our higher selves knows is coming in for us. Now, the Posse of Angels is reminding us that whatever manifests for us to review, reconsider, re-edit, revisit, or redo, it would be most beneficial, like always, to lead by our heartfelt intuition, and certainly do not lead by your head. In fact, if you don't want to experience a battle, as Mercury is going counter to our linear thoughts, please do not try to solve problems at this time and to mentally try to figure things out, as it will only give you a headache. Instead, do try to feel your way through the next few weeks, letting your intuition be your best guide. Now, one aspect that I do like about Mercury retrograde, I really do like this, is people from your past have a tendency to pop up unexpectedly. Pete and I got a text recently, and we are so excited, and we're getting ready for a visit from our wonderful goddaughter, Sloan, and her mother from Australia. But you know what? Just be prepared for people from your past who may not be so well received to show up in your life, especially if there is still an issue that has not been put to rest, for it must be revisited, reviewed, and ultimately released so that we can realign the energies back to wholeness. And know that if it is something that is not pleasant to deal with, it would be of the highest benefit if we take our time, drop down to our hearts, and to engage with it in the most loving of ways, not allowing ourselves to be triggered by past events to influence our decisions. And of course, we shouldn't allow triggers and reactions to determine what actions we're going to take. Remember that the first half of the Mercury retrograde is the time of greatest reflection, and they usually last 3 weeks. Okay, so if you cut that in half, it's about 10 or 11 days. So the first 10 or 11 days is the greatest reflection and introspection. And during the second half, although we may feel like we're raring to go, as we have reflected on readying ourselves for that new to come in, we are literally blocked from getting on with and doing what we feel most like doing. Until we realize those undeniable signs of moving forward, well, it is truly a time to focus on our well-being, nourish and nurture ourselves, and remember one of the most important re's in a Mercury retrograde is to relax. Put your efforts on recharging and re-energizing yourself and those feelings of peace within. So I can highly recommend going by bodies of water. You don't have to go swimming. I know a lot of the areas of the country and the world are still in the throes of cold, wintry weather. Walking by a lake, walking by a pond. We're so fortunate in Santa Monica, even walking along the beach, or going to a park and being in nature. All of these things will help, excuse me, recharge our batteries. So here we are in the month of April. Okay, and each theme so far on Angel Healing House Radio on its fairly new home of Transformation Talk Radio. This is its fourth month of being on Transformation Talk Radio. And each month has had its own theme. And with April 15th being tax time, the Posse of Angels wanted to make April the month of abundance. And they've entitled today's topic, Make a Life Instead of Making a Living. You know, everyone, in 1 month's time, the Posse of Angels and I, we will be celebrating the 14th year anniversary of my extraordinary business, Angel Healing House. And you know what? I really don't exaggerate when I use that word extraordinary to explain the past 14 years. You know, come to think of it, if you're going to call your business Angel Healing House, I guess one can expect a couple of miracles along the way. It is often at milestones in our lives that we do look back and we review the path along the journey. And many times with a business, one assesses its success or failure solely on the bottom line. Yet looking back on the past 14 years, the richness and abundance I've received from my business and the incredible life's lessons that it has presented me has added so much more to the wealth of my life than just solely money. My business has given me opportunities to give of my time, give of my heart, my compassion, and my unconditional love. And what has come back to me has been miraculous and so much more valuable than gold. You know, people will tell you all kinds of advice when one starts a business. They'll tell you to keep accounts, act professional, be responsible, trustworthy, reliable, and lots of et ceteras. But the best business advice I ever received was from my father, who told me, whatever you do, if you decide to give purely, give openly and generously with all your heart. For remember, the gift is in the giving, as giving is a gift that you give to yourself. And you know what? Some of the most miraculous results from my giving brought gifts that I could never have imagined, like this testimonial that I received. My daughter started seeing Candy after a year of fighting cancer. In 4 short sessions, Candy's beautiful words and comforting presence helped my daughter let go of all the anger and all the sadness inside of her. Candy helped my daughter cross over with peace and dignity and the knowledge that she would be returning to God and her angels. I can't thank you enough for bringing my daughter finally back to peace once more before she crossed. And that was from Gwen in Culver City, California. And then there was this unexpected testimonial. You have done more for me than you could ever possibly imagine. I now can love my children again. And that was from Therese in Coolum, Australia. You know, everyone, they say that when the student is ready, the master appears. Yet I teach my Reiki students that everyone who we encounter in life is our master teacher. So we better pay attention in every moment. And the people that I've drawn to myself have allowed me to open opportunities for me to give love like I never ever thought possible, like this client who wrote this testimonial. I went to Candy because I was recovering from cancer and I needed help to release emotional blockages. My sessions with her have been the most loving and caring experience in my life. I continue to receive benefit from ongoing sessions. I can honestly say that at 76 years of age, because of meeting Candy, it was the very first time in my whole life that I was truly able to feel and experience love. With gratitude, and that was from Maggie in Pacific Grove, California. You know, everyone, by giving with all of my heart and truly believing in the divinity of all people, I have reignited a spark of hope in others for them to choose to heal themselves. That's right. They choose to heal themselves. In fact, I vowed from day one of my business that I would never use the word healer on anything associated with Angel Healing House because I am not the healer. It is the client's reconnection to God and recognition of finally loving themselves that opens the door for true healing to begin. As a healing practitioner, sure, I help them to heal, but ultimately, the client is the healer, for they get to make the choice to heal or not. There is a saying that we teach best what we need to learn most. 14 years ago, because of my finally learning to love myself, connecting with the divine inside of me, and creating heaven on earth, I then went forth to help others love themselves and create their own heavens. My business has been successful because I chose to make a life and not make a living. In choosing to make a life, I chose to do what made my heart sing and gave me great joy. Everyone, when one makes a life instead of making a living, one does not compromise what breathes life into one's soul just for the money. One begins to understand that our joy and fruition and what we do is an integral puzzle piece of the planet. In making a life, the natural offshoot is that is to be joyful and set your soul free to fly and create limitless possibilities. If one puts their emphasis on making a living instead of making a life, the emphasis is off creativity, and the universe actually reads this as coming from lack, which, as you know, because of the laws of attraction, will bring us more lack. Making a living reminded me of a client whose father had grown up during the Depression, and he continually told his daughter to find a good, secure job and then to hold on to that job forever, for one never knew if they would ever get another job. June, my client, okay, this is not her real name, but let's call her June. June took a governmental job that was secure and one which she hated. She shared with me that her relationships never worked out and that she didn't particularly like where she lived. The Posse of Angels were very quick to share that our realities are a wonderful reflection and mirror so that we can monitor how our energies that we choose and perpetuate are creating our realities. When I asked her what she did to make a life for herself, she openly replied nothing. When I asked her what she loved doing, well, she didn't hesitate and immediately said that she loved to bake and to cook. The Posse of Angels got very excited and showed me the copy of the movie Julie and Julia. Now, for those who may not have seen this charming movie, it's about a young woman who loved to cook, and she decides to take Julia Child's book, The Joy of Cooking, and make 365 recipes, one a day in 1 year, and then she blogs about it. Her passion and creativity became a best-selling book and movie. So I suggested to this client that by sharing her passion and her enthusiasm for cooking and baking, that she would switch her stagnant blah energies within to abundant and sparkling energies by putting her effort into a few things. I told her that she could blog about her cooking, her recipes. She could start a newsletter, which she could talk about cooking for holidays, cooking for birthdays, cooking for, kids' birthday parties, get people to write in their own recipes. I then stopped myself and asked her, I said, so how does all of this sound? Suddenly, this client became so animated. She was brighter. She was excited. She thanked me as the blah energies inside of her had shifted, and she could not wait to get started to create and to make a life. I told her that this new and excited energy inside of her would build up the more she focused on it and send out excited and passionate energies that would draw to her opportunities and connections to expand her joy and passion for baking and cooking. Now, the Posse of Angels added that with these new connections and excitable energies that she would draw to herself, then she would draw to herself a very different man, someone who was bright and excited and passionate. So, excuse the expression, but it sounded to me like a great recipe for love. Now, a footnote here, June did begin to take inspired action, and she started what became a very successful blog and newsletter on cooking and baking. And she started to bake at nights and on the weekends. She used her dormant creativity by coming up with unique packaging, and then she took her baked goods to cafes to see if they would sell them. And she had many of them who were thrilled to feature her baked items. The demand quickly increased, and she simply had no time for her governmental job, and she happily left it to bake to her heart's delight. You know, listeners, one of the greatest lessons that I had to learn in making a life instead of making a living, and I know that I'm not alone, was to practice the art of allowance. After I prayed and intended and wished and desired for things to happen, I finally learned to let go of how and when those intentions and dreams would be answered, and I began accepting exactly what turned up in my life. In this one seemingly simple act, I let go of control and worry and stressing as I took my focus off of expectations and I actually put it on living. I stopped trying to figure life out and I started to experience life. This is because God and the angels are masters of dealing with the details of our lives. You know, they do not get distracted by egos and physical limitations, but they deal in the realm of limitless, miraculous answers to our prayers. And the Posse of Angels are telling me that although we may not like to hear it, we do stop our prayers from being answered by putting attachment on it, by putting expectations on it, by putting restrictions and constrictions and limitations on our lives, how things should or how things ought to or how they have to turn out. If we only could just surrender to life and to let go of those expectations. You know, I was speaking with a client yesterday, and I said to her, you know, letting go and surrendering doesn't mean doing nothing. It means being inspired by that higher source. And the way I choose to comport my life, not that it's the right way or the wrong way, but that I am continually in the present moment and looking and observing those signs that the angels, God and the angels, are sending me. And it's in those signs that give me that inspired action to take action on my life and and every time I follow God's signs, not my signs or my timing or how it's supposed to work out, every time I follow those signs, miracles are on the other sides and the rewards are very tangible. You know, everyone, we do live in the most remarkable, giving, and abundant universe whose only job it is to see that our prayers are answered. But this can only happen if we open to receive and allow the universe to give to us in the perfect way that it chooses to answer our prayers. My life totally changed 14 years ago when I chose to make a life for myself and affirm and thank God for my divine and heavenly life. When I made that decision from one day to the next, I must tell you that my finances didn't change one bit. I still didn't find my cherished love, and in every way, my circumstances remained absolutely the same. But I decided to focus on and announce to the universe with joy in my heart how blessed I was for my extraordinary life that I was consciously making and co-creating with God. And the funny thing is that when one sets out on making a life, one feels so abundant that the universe sends more abundance to you. and the universe then looks after the making a living. You are listening to me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio, on its fairly new home. As I said, we're in our 3.5 months on this beautiful new home of Transformation Talk Radio. And Angel Healing House Radio can be heard weekly, every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we are going to take a short break now. And when we come back, we'll be taking calls for those free channeled messages from my angelic family, the Posse of Angels, and get some insights and messages for others. So we will be back in a minute.
Take your own journey with the angels with Claire Candy Hough's Heaven Sent Guided Angel Meditation CD, letting go of concerns and living in the now. This beautiful CD walks listeners through practical exercises to help free them from the burdens, worries, and concerns of daily life.
Walking a quarter of the way across the bridge, you see a bright, emerald green light and sense a loving presence. This is Archangel Raphael's green healing energies, nourishing and revitalizing you. Take a moment now to bathe in this green healing light.
Giving you much more than just relaxation and stress release, this wonderfully narrated CD provides vivid visualization, soothing and inspiring music, and an angel's choir that will bring you peace, clarity, and a newfound awareness. Visit angelhealinghouse.com today. To see your life from an angel's perspective, book a personal consultation with Claire Candy Hough, angelic walk-in angel Ariel at Angel Healing House. Candy provides intuitive counseling, Reiki, and angel readings in person in Los Angeles or nationally and internationally via phone or Skype. She will channel the practical tools you need to transform your life. Call now 831-277-3716 or visit angelhealinghouse.com.
Okay, everyone, you are back with me, Claire Candy Hough, on Angel Healing House Radio. And once again, Angel Healing House Radio can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is a platform for me to bring forth channeled messages from my angelic family, who are known as the Posse of Angels. Now, just a reminder, if you would like to receive my uplifting and enlightening Angel Healing House newsletter, which is filled with channeled messages from my angelic family and myself, please do email me your request for that newsletter to my email address, which is Candy, C-A-N-D-Y, at angelhealinghouse.com. Also, if you would like to purchase copies of my inspirational books, Angels of Faith, that one's based on my 2 near-death experiences, my novel, One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, in which I speak about my 5 most important past lives in which I grew the most spiritually, and then what I did in the afterlife, in those lives, between those lives, and then my novel, my autobiography, actually, the sequel to One True Home, which came out last year, which is I Am an Angelic Walk-In. These all can be purchased on the Angel Healing House website, which is angelhealinghouse.com. And also know that if you'd like to call, if you would like to book for your own individualized, private, hour-and-a-half angel reading, to find insight on clarity and direction and more peace, more self-love, more joy, all of those things, you can always call Angel Healing House on 831-277-3716. And my office is in Santa Monica, California, but I do have clients all over the globe. And also for those sessions, you can email me at Candy at angelhealinghouse.com. But all the, excuse me, All that information is found on the Angel Healing House website. So, without further ado, let's go to our first caller. We have Ashley from Richmond, Virginia. Hello, Ashley. How are you today?
Hi, Candy. How are you?
I'm really well. So, what's been going on in your life?
Oh, well, I was listening to your show, and I definitely connected with making a life as opposed to making a living. And I feel like I tend to follow my messages and kind of go where the wind takes me. And I'm kind of in a transitional point in my life, and if I'm thinking in the present, what I'm doing right now is I'm designing, or I have designed tarot cards, and I'm selling them. So I was wondering if they had any specific messages about those. But I also feel like I have some traveling coming up, but I don't really have any, not that I need any specifics from them, but it's kind of a vague feeling. So if they had any messages about that, I was also asking about that.
Okay, while I'm shuffling the cards, the first thing that came to mind is they are so happy that you are happy being creative. These tarot cards have given you, they want to use the word purpose. They've given you a purpose. They've given you something to channel your energies into. They know that it's been a particularly harrowing past year for you, and you could have decided to just sit with those energies, but you decided to lighten them. You decided to be positive and channel them into these wonderful tarot cards. Very inventive, very inspirational, and very imaginative. So they're very happy about that. The next thing they said is what
Thank you.
Okay, next thing that you're picking up, and don't worry where they're going, because all we can affect is what's in the present moment, and just as long as you're feeling abundant, happy, and positive, then the world is happy, abundant, and positive, really. And that's the energy that you will be sending out to create your future. Okay, so don't worry where they're going. The next thing is what you're picking up and anticipating is that things will change. You have rooted yourself in where you are for the past year, and happily done so. But now, in order for you to be of best service, you will be getting signs on how to move on. And so, yet again, they don't want you to worry about so much where you're going. So many of us will be changing locations. I know that Pete and I are intuiting, moving, and we haven't started to pack yet, and purchase a ticket, as we don't know where that really is going to be. And so we wait faithfully, but while we wait, we don't do nothing. We continue to be creative, and we continue to do our projects and our endeavors and things like that. So they want you to sit in silence, and they want you to ask your posse of angels. They want you to ask them, show me how to be of best service. And then show me signs as to where that's going to be. I've had several clients, actually many clients, that have done this over the years. And when they open themselves to receive where that's going to be, it's really quite interesting what comes in. I had a particular client who said, okay, I'm going to go out and do that. So she would ask, God and the angels to send her signs. And like she'd be standing in a grocery store line, and she'd look up, and the gentleman in front of her would have a hoodie on, and the back it read Chicago. And suddenly she got goosebumps. Her sister lived in Chicago. And anyway, she went about her day, and she was in some store, and she heard Chicago, Chicago, that toddle in town. Anyway, the number of references that she started to get to Chicago, and then in a follow-up session she had with me, a follow-up reading, she said, I don't know whether to apply for a job. I said, did you get signs to apply for a job? She said, no. I just keep getting goosebumps about Chicago. I said, the only way we have faith is by having faith. I said, is for you to maybe go to Chicago, spend some time with your sister, if you're on good terms with her, and see what opens up, because the life can't support us. She can't be supported in Chicago until she shows faith, going there. And then things started to open up for her so easily. So they're saying, beloved Ashley, that's what you need to do. You need to first open yourself to say, I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to move on from here. And now show me those signs. So let's go to the cards.
That's interesting, because I had said something similar. I don't remember the exact date, but it wasn't that long ago. And I found myself going into the sauna at the gym much more often than I ever have, because I really don't like heat.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that I'm going in the sauna and like sitting in there for a long time kind of makes me wonder if I'm preparing myself for a hot climate and I didn't even know it.
Oh my gosh. Well, this, the first card that comes out for you is a lover's card. And a lover's card is all about, the lover's card is all about choice. It's not, it's also about love. It's all about opening yourself up for love. And I do feel like with what you have been through in the last couple of years is that you are ready now to, they're saying, to fly and spread your wings, and you're really ready to for a beloved relationship to come in. But there will definitely be a choice for you now that you're opening up to receive. And the next card is coming out for you is the Temperance. Is things will be more balanced in your life. Things have been very introspective and quiet and stilling yourself. And now the balance is things will be presented to you for you to take action on and have that and to engage with life once again. And the third card is, you've gotten 3 major arcana cards. So I do believe the last card is the Fool, which is the starting over, but starting over like a child would, in wide-eyed wonderment. And the three majors there. So this is really going to be a very large change for you, but nothing you can't handle. And then open up to step forth. So I'm really excited about this for you, and I know that it's going to be an opportunity for you to do what you love doing, and to step forth. And it's not that you'll never come back to your home and things like that, but it's ready for you. They're saying you're ready to fly.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. So have a beautiful day, and sending lots of love.
You too. Thanks, Candy.
Take care. Bye-bye. So let's go to some more callers. Annette, who dropped off, if you want to call back in, we do have some time for some more callers. And Annette was from the Boston area. I'd love to speak to you, but let's go to Stephanie. Stephanie from New York. Stephanie, you are on the line with Claire Candy Hough and Angel Healing House Radio. And Stephanie, are you making a life instead of making a living?
I don't know. I'm trying. I've been sick a lot lately, so I haven't been able to focus on that, I think, as much. Although I am, doing those the classes and keeping up with my classes.
Yeah. So, well, that's I would say in knowing your story and knowing the arc of where you have traveled and journeyed in the last couple of years, that you are making a life, because you have gone beyond logic and reason and just gone with your heart. And in each case, when you went with your heart, those miraculous, quite extraordinary things happened. You know, they, um, you know, the abundance that came in when you needed it to come in, all of those things, they didn't happen by happen chance. And the Posse of Angels are saying that is because you decided to make yourself a priority and open yourself up to receive. And one of the greatest ways we open up to receive is by giving to ourselves, giving to others, giving to ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I have been trying to make my health more of a focus, which is part of why it's so frustrating that I keep getting sick. But
Yeah. Oh. Well, know that this is really important for you to clear and cleanse and detox. And it's a great time energetically during a Mercury retrograde, as I said in the first part of the program, to really re-energize and recharge our batteries. Don't try to to push getting better. Really allow yourself to really nurture and nourish yourself through this, because when you are going to be called to be of service, then you're going to need the energy to step forward and to really be firing on all pistons, I guess the expression is. So what question did you have today, Stephanie?
Thank you. I've been wondering for a couple of years if I should be seeing like a functional medicine doctor. But part of what's been holding me off on that is, they don't take insurance and they're expensive. And, but, because I've had, issues with my period since September, and I've had all these different cancers, and, I've gotten these, I think ear infections 3 times in 6 months, and, just trouble with weight loss and all that. So I wasn't sure, it is financial. The one that I wanted to see a few years ago is very expensive, but there are some in New York who are probably a little less so. But I don't want to waste my money, so it's kind of scary for me. But I do want to prioritize my health, and if there's something that maybe, so I don't know. I was wondering what they thought about that. Like if this is just like a clearing out and it'll pass, or, if I just keep eating right, or if there's maybe I need to see some kind of special, who can guide me on something I can't quite figure out.
Okay. When it comes to our health, it's really important, and I know insurance and I know, finances and things like that, but it's really important for us to make our health a priority. And and I'm just getting shocks on this, if this is coming to mind, to go to a doctor, a more conventional doctor or something like that, then it's a priority for you to do so. Now you can also ask God and the angels, please direct me to somebody who is more affordable, and would be able to pinpoint or help me see how I can boost my immune system, and why these things keep happening. So they are applauding you going in the direction of whatever direction your heart is telling you. If it has come to mind to go to a conventional doctor, then they are saying the reason that you had this thought was to take action on it. So they're saying, yes, ask God and the angels to direct you to somebody who is more affordable for you. So they get a very good feeling about that, and they're saying the more, of course, that you can do to boost your immune system, the more that the body will remember how to heal itself. So
thanks.
Yeah, I get a very positive feeling.
I don't know. Oh, sorry, what?
It's a very positive feeling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I was clear, but I was thinking functional, like more like a naturopath, like a functional medicine, not a regular
Oh, not
doctor.
a conventional.
Although
Okay.
my doctor, that's what, yeah. Although I was also thinking of seeing my regular PCP. He's pretty good, but, you know, I don't necessarily want it to be just on pills, and I don't know how overall holistic he is, you know.
Right.
But
So,
I do have an appointment with him for Thursday.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know if there's something like leaky gut or SIBO or some other thing that maybe he's, you know, that's out of his scope.
Right.
And there was also a medical intuitive who's also a functional medicine doctor that I saw on the website for the functional doctors. But those are, you know, these are all out of pocket, these types of doctors, naturopaths, functional medicine, as opposed to a regular PCP.
Right. Well, the investiture that just personally, the investiture that I had when I went to see a naturopath in a doctor who is also a conventional doctor who is also a naturopath, and having taking blood tests, and it wasn't just medical intuitive stuff. It was naturally how to heal the body. I couldn't lose weight. My thyroid was down, and all of those things. And within a year, it's just the energy that I've gotten, Stephanie, is just off the charts. The weight has easily dropped off. When my levels and all of those things were brought up, and then all the natural things that I'm doing, the Reiki and eating organics and non-GMOs and clear water, not fluoridated, and all these things that I'm personally doing to attend to my health, and of course thinking lovely thoughts as well and being positive. All of these things have just so recharged my health, and so I do sing praises of not only just the alternative methods like Reiki and naturopathic medicine and whatever, but also conventional as well, with those blood tests and things like that. So I'm getting a really good feeling about you incorporating a naturopathic doctor, what you call a functional doctor, into your regime. So let's go to the cards and see what they say. Let's go here.
Okay.
The first. The first. Go on.
My cousin saw someone. My cousin who lives in New York. I was wondering if they thought. So she recommended her if they thought that would be a good match for me also.
Well, they like that. Even before you said that, they were nodding their heads yes. They like that. In fact, you said it was your friend or your cousin. Who was this that recommended this?
My cousin.
Oh, it's interesting.
Like 3 years ago.
It's interesting because when I turned the first card over, which is the Ten of Pentacles, of course that's a high abundance card, but it's also the card of a happy family. So that tells me that this sign came to you from your happy family, from a family member, and that it just confirms that this would be a great person for you to go and see, and to to help you. So that this Ten of Pentacles, the next card that's coming out for you is the Nine of Cups. There you go. You got the wish card. The wish card comes out as confirmation, that we're going in the right direction, that your wishes will be met. The wish is to fulfill your prescription for good health. And it does seem like by going to the naturopath, this would be really, really beneficial for you. And the next card that comes out for you is the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is a new beginning. So I would definitely go to this naturopath and just be open to receiving more help along the way on your path to good health. So I hope all that's been helpful for you, sweetie.
Yeah, thank you. Because I've been thinking about it on and off for years, but it's, it's scary, like the money, and
It is.
wondering if they're as good as regular doctors. I went many years ago to naturopaths, but I didn't find them to be very helpful. But, it's been 15, 20 years, so maybe, medicine's changed or I'm changed or who knows,
And I think the most important part is 16 years ago, I did not know you then, but I can tell you were not open to receive. And now with the changes that you've been through, see, it doesn't matter whether it's alternative or conventional. It doesn't matter what the medicine is, unless we are open to receive, it will not work. So, so they're applauding you for being open to receive, and they're saying, to take yourself in this direction, and you will get lovely results. So I've got to go. Have a lovely day, Stephanie.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. And we do have a few more minutes left if you'd like to call into the show for free angel readings. That number is 1-800-930-2819. As it is a Mercury retrograde, I thought just to finish off the show, if nobody calls in, we'll pick a few cards to see what the Posse of Angels have in store for us. Because, we have, let's see, what are we now? We're on the 18th, and May 3rd is the end of the retrograde. So we do have the second part of the retrograde coming up, the last 10, 11 days. And remember from the first part of the program, I shared with you that the last part of the retrograde is, we've done that introspection, we've been silent, we've been still, and we feel this building up of steam, this building up of energies, like we're raring to go, but we're still held back. So let's see what messages they have to tell us about this last part of the Mercury retrograde, and perhaps what's coming up for us all as a collective in May. Well, the first card that's coming up for us, I'm using the Doreen Virtue, the mermaids and dolphins, the magical mermaids and dolphins cards. They're just beautiful. The first card that's coming up is the alchemy card. You have the Midas touch right now, and every project you begin turns to gold. Okay, I know where they're going with this, because in a Mercury retrograde, so much of it is about redoing, re-editing, and refocusing our attention. So they want you to, if you feel like getting out some of your projects that you've done before, please do revisit your former projects and re-edit them. Oh, somebody just popped up. On the caller list. We have Mary from Florida. Mary, you're on the line with Claire Candy Hough and Angel Healing House Radio. How are you today, Mary?
I'm doing pretty good. A lot better than where I used to be.
Wonderful. That's wonderful news.
Right on. So glad that you have the radio show.
Thank you. Have you called in before?
No, this is my first. I just ran into you on LinkedIn about a month or so ago, or a couple months now, and just really was drawn to you and thought I'd check out your radio show. And
that's wonderful. Congratulations for finding myself and the Posse of Angels. And what's your question today, Mary?
Oh, I just feel like I fell in a hole a few years back and just been trying to get myself out of it. Just any words of advice or things that speed that process up would be really great. I'd be really grateful for.
Okay, Mary, first of all, things are racing in, the messages. They are applauding you. They're applauding you for following your intuition. They're applauding you for honoring and respecting yourself. They're applauding you, actually, for making a life instead of just making a living, for dropping down to your heart. You are not the same person that you were years ago, and they love this energy of yours now. And they're saying, All you need to do is ask God and the angels, please show me signs, please show me messages on how I can step forward. Okay, let me see. Let's go to the cards. I've only got about a couple of minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay, the first card is the Two of Cups. This is the partnership card. Are you currently partnered with someone?
Yes, I'm married, but also really work on keeping that partnership with God every day.
Okay, all right, wonderful. They
also
want
have a team of people I work with too.
Okay, wonderful. They want you to know that you will, because you're so open to receive now, you will be given other opportunities to partner in all kinds of way. All they want you to do is just say to God and the angels, show me how to be of best service, and let my eyes be open. Let my eyes be open to where your will take me. And as soon as you say that, you will feel like you're not burdened anymore with trying to figure this out. You will feel like you're in the light, and things will be revealed to you. So it's, let me see, the next card that's coming out for you is the Six of Cups, which is the people from the past coming back to help you, and also the child card. So come to life as a child. Let God lead you where you need to be of best service. Again, don't go into your head, drop down to your heart. And the next card is the very fertile card, is the Empress card. Put your emphasis on your creativity. I'd love for you to have a private session with me. We've come to the end of the show. Mary, perhaps you could book a private session or call in next week for see if you can get on for more readings. But thank you so much for finding us, and have a beautiful day. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye. And that wraps about the show up for today. Thank you all for tuning in, as always. Remember that Angel Healing House airs on Transformation Talk Radio every Tuesday, every week at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And you can always call me at Angel Healing House on 831-277-3716. And until next time, please do allow your radiant light to shine forth and go out and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. Love, and as always, angel blessings. I'll speak to you next week. Take care. Bye.